Welcome. Tonight, this story is for the ones who are being shaped. The ones who are tired in a way that sleep does not yet fix. The ones who can feel something hard and good happening inside them, even though it does not always feel hard and good while it is happening. If you are inside your Saturn return, and your Saturn is in Aries, this episode is for you. If your Saturn return is approaching, this episode is for you too. And if you are simply curious about what this season is, and why so many people in their late 20s have been quietly, slowly, turning into different people, you are welcome here as well. Before we begin, give yourself a moment. There is no hurry. The whole night is yours. There is nothing you need to figure out before sleep. Nothing you need to remember. The work that is happening inside you does not require your supervision tonight. Let your shoulders drop. Just a little. Notice the weight of your head against the pillow. Notice the soft warmth at the base of your skull where the pillow meets your hair. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice the small, soft rise and fall of your own breath without trying to change it. You don't have to do anything for the next half hour. You don't have to follow this perfectly. If your mind drifts, that is part of the listening too. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it out through soft lips, longer than the inhale. Again, slower this time. Let your belly rise gently as the air comes in. Let your shoulders fall as the air goes out. And one more, letting your jaw soften, letting your tongue rest gently behind your teeth. Letting your eyebrows unknit, letting the small muscles around your eyes go quiet, letting your hands open very slightly where they rest beside you. One last breath. Let it be the slowest one yet. Notice how the air feels just at the tip of your nose as it comes in. Notice the small pause at the top of the inhale before the exhale begins. Notice how the body, when given permission, knows exactly what to do. Good. Now settle in. In Western astrology, the 7 visible planets are not just bodies in the sky. They are temperaments. Each one represents a different energy alive inside you. The sun is who you are. The moon is how you feel. Mercury is how you think. Venus is how you love. Mars is how you act. Saturn is how you become real. Saturn is the slowest of the visible planets. From the Earth, you can watch it move across the sky for nearly 30 years before it returns to where it started. That slowness is the whole point. Saturn is the planet of time, of patience, of mastery, of structure built carefully and tested by weather. The old astrologers called Saturn the great teacher, sometimes the hard teacher, sometimes the kind teacher after the lessons land. Saturn is the part of you that knows what is real and what is not. The part of you that builds. The part of you that says no when no is necessary. The part of you that can hold a discipline for 10 years and not break. The part of you that does not need to be applauded to keep going. The part of you that is, quietly, the one who shows up. Saturn is also the part of you that has been most criticized in the modern world. Saturn's qualities, patience, restraint, slow accumulation, deep commitment, are not in fashion. The world rewards Mercury speed and Mars momentum and Jupiter optimism. Saturn moves at a different pace and is often dismissed for it. But Saturn does not mind. Saturn has all the time in the world. Aries is a different temperament entirely. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the energy of beginnings, of fire, of initiative, of the first leaf cracking through the frozen ground. Aries is the spark, the starter, the one who says yes before the committee has finished meeting. Aries is courage, honest courage, not the courage of strategy, but the courage of instinct. The courage that does not stop to consider whether it is allowed. The courage that just goes. So what happens, the old astrologers asked, when the slowest, most patient teacher in the sky moves through the most impatient, most direct sign of the zodiac, and stays there for 2.5 years? What happens is what is happening now. Saturn entered the sign of Aries in May of the year 2025. Saturn will remain in Aries until early 2028. For everyone alive on this planet during those years, this transit is shaping something. But for one specific group of people, the shaping is more personal. If you were born between roughly 1996 and 1999, your natal Saturn is in Aries, which means right now, while transiting Saturn moves through Aries, transiting Saturn is returning to the place where your Saturn was the day you were born. This is your Saturn return. Your first one. The first time since the day you arrived on Earth that the slow planet has come back around to where it began. It happens every 29.5 years, give or take. Once in your late 20s, once in your late 50s, once in your late 80s if you are lucky enough to be there for it. The first Saturn return is the one that turns you into an adult. Not legally. Legally you became an adult years ago. But internally, the first Saturn return is the moment your inside finally catches up with your outside. For some, this is the season they leave a job they should have left years ago. For some, it is the season they finally do the work they were always going to do. For some, it is the season a relationship ends or deepens or finally begins. For some, it is the season they start a business, write a book, move countries, get sober, learn how to rest, find a teacher, or finally walk away from one who was never really teaching them anything. It is rarely a calm season, but it is always an honest one. Saturn does not lie to you during this period. Saturn does not let you keep the small flatteries that propped up the years before. Saturn shows you what is real, and then Saturn shows you what to do about it. A Saturn return that lands in Aries has a particular flavor. Aries is the sign of the self, the sign of identity, the sign of the question, who am I, when no one else is in the room. So if your Saturn is in Aries, the lessons of this return are not about your career, exactly, or about your money, or about your relationships, although those will all be touched. The lessons are about your selfhood, who you are, who you have been pretending to be, and who you are willing to become. This is the deepest possible work, and it cannot be rushed. Now imagine this. You are walking, in the soft evening light, toward a forge. The kind of forge that has been there for 1,000 years. A small stone building with a slow chimney. The smell of warm metal in the air. The faint, steady ring of a hammer somewhere inside. The blacksmith looks up when you arrive. He does not say much. He gestures toward a piece of iron resting on the workbench. It is rough, pitted, heavier than it looks. It has been waiting for you. You understand, in the way you sometimes understand things in dreams, that the iron is you. You also understand that the blacksmith is not your enemy. He is not punishing you. He is not even teaching you exactly. He is simply doing the work that needs to be done. He has done this work for thousands of years. Every person who has ever lived has at some point laid their iron on his anvil. He recognizes you even though you have never met. You recognize him too somewhere deep, although you cannot remember when. He picks up the iron and slides it into the fire. The fire is bright orange, hotter than you have ever stood near. This is the Aries part of the work. The fire is your courage, your impulse, your raw forward movement, your wild and beautiful instinct to act before you understand. It has carried you for years. It has been your fuel since you were a child. Without it, you would never have begun anything. The fire is good. The fire is not enough. The blacksmith pulls the iron out, glowing orange, and lays it on the anvil. He picks up a hammer. The hammer is Saturn. The hammer is not louder than the fire. It is not faster than the fire. It is something else entirely. The hammer is patient. The hammer is honest. The hammer is the part of life that says, this is the shape you actually want to be, and this is the slow work of becoming it. Each strike is a year. Each strike is a decision. Each strike is a discipline kept, a boundary held, a no that needed saying. Each strike makes you slightly less malleable, slightly more yourself. This is the Saturn return in Aries. Fire and hammer, heat and patience, wild instinct getting shaped into something that can hold its edge. There is a second image worth holding tonight, alongside the forge. Picture a runner, a young runner, someone who has been running fast since they could walk because the body wanted to, because there was always something interesting around the next corner, because stillness felt like a kind of failure. This runner has covered a lot of ground in their life. They have been to many places, done many things, started many things, but they are tired now, the kind of tired that running cannot fix. So the runner sits down, just for a little while. They sit on a stone wall at the edge of a quiet road, and they begin for the first time to learn how to walk slowly. Not because they have to, because they finally want to, because something inside them is asking to feel the ground again properly instead of always launching off it. The first slow walks feel strange, almost wrong. The body keeps wanting to break into a run, but the runner stays patient. One slow step, then another. After a few months, walking slowly stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like a kind of dignity. That also is Saturn return in Aries. The fire learning to walk. In the first season of your Saturn return, you may feel a strange heaviness. Things that came easily start to require effort. Decisions you used to make quickly, you now sit with for weeks. People who used to feel easy to be around, you now find draining. Plans that used to excite you, you now examine with new eyes, asking quietly, is this actually mine? This is the iron noticing the fire for the first time. Old patterns of impulse, things you did automatically because the Aries part of you is always moving, suddenly feel exhausting. The body is asking to slow down. The body is asking for repetition instead of novelty. The body is asking for the quiet, deep, unglamorous work of building something that lasts. Let the body lead. The mind will catch up. The mind always does. You may also notice, in this first season, that small inconveniences hit you harder than they used to. A delayed train, a canceled plan, a friend who didn't text back. These small frictions, which you used to brush off, now register more loudly. This is not because you are getting weaker. It is because the layers of armor you used to keep up are starting to come down, and you are feeling things at full volume for the first time in a long time. The volume will adjust. Trust the process. In the second season, the questions arrive. Not loud questions, quiet ones, returning ones. The same question in slightly different forms every Tuesday morning, every Sunday evening, every time you finish a long day and find yourself sitting alone in a quiet room. Am I doing what I am here to do? Are these the right people? Is this the right work? Have I been brave, or have I been busy? Saturn is not asking these to torture you. Saturn is asking these because you are old enough now to answer them honestly. The fire in you is mature enough to be turned toward something real, instead of toward whatever was loudest in the room. You may notice in this season that you have less patience for performances. The performances of social media, the performances of small talk, the performances of being the person other people decided you were. You don't have the energy anymore to keep the costumes pressed. Let the costumes hang. You will not need them. This is also a season where memory begins to behave differently. You may find yourself remembering specific conversations from years ago with sudden clarity. Old hurts you thought you had forgotten. Old kindnesses you forgot to thank someone for. This is Saturn doing its accounting work. Saturn is interested in what is unfinished. Let the memories come. Some of them will ask something of you. Some of them just want to be acknowledged. Either way, let them visit. They are not trying to hurt you. They are trying to complete. In the third season, the breaking and the building happen at the same time. Some part of your old life ends. A relationship, a job, a city, a self-image, a habit, a friendship. The ending may be your decision, or it may be a decision made for you by the universe. Either way, it is the right ending. Saturn does not break what was meant to last. And in the same season, something new begins. Quietly, without fireworks. Practice, a discipline, a routine, a small daily commitment that, 6 months from now, will have shaped you in a way you cannot yet see. Maybe you start writing every morning. Maybe you start running again. Maybe you call your father every Sunday. Maybe you finally see a therapist. Maybe you join a class, a sangha, a group, a small community of people who do the same quiet thing on the same quiet evenings. Saturn does not give you a sudden new life. Saturn gives you 1,000 small days that become a life. You may also notice in this third season that money starts to behave differently around you. Not always more, not always less. Just differently, as if it is responding to a clearer signal. The things you spend on bring more peace. The things you no longer need to buy, you don't miss. Saturn is patient about money the way Saturn is patient about everything. The blacksmith does not tip the apprentice. The blacksmith makes the apprentice into someone the world eventually pays. In the fourth season, the heaviness lifts a little. Not because the work is done. The work is not done. But because you are starting to recognize yourself inside it. The new shape is becoming visible. The hammer has not stopped, but the strikes feel less foreign. Each strike is a confirmation now instead of a correction. You may notice in this season that you have a stronger spine. Not metaphorically, literally. People comment on it. The way you stand. The way you say no. The way you can sit through silence without flinching. The way bad news lands on you without knocking you over. The way good news no longer makes you giddy in the old, brittle way, but instead makes you quietly satisfied, like a meal you cooked yourself. This is the iron remembering it was shaped to hold. You may also begin, in this season, to be sought out for advice. Quietly, without announcing it, you have become someone people trust. Younger friends, colleagues, sometimes even your parents. They notice the new spine. They notice that you do not flinch from hard conversations anymore. They notice the slow, steady weight that a person who has been forged carries with them. You did not ask for this. You did not aim for it. It is simply what happens when you keep showing up to the anvil. In the fifth and final season of your Saturn return, you complete. The hammer slows. The iron cools. You see, lying on the anvil, what you have been forged into. It is not flashy. It is not what the magazines call success. But it is yours. It is real. It is something the wind cannot move. You walk out of the forge. The blacksmith does not say goodbye. Blacksmith's harelidu. But you understand somehow that this work was a gift. The hardest gift. The one that took the longest to recognize. You are different now. The fire is still in you. The Aries fire never goes away. But it has a shape around it now. A discipline. A vessel. The fire can do work it was never able to do before, because it has the structure to be sustained. This is the gift of Saturn return in Aries. Not the death of your fire. The graduation of your fire. There is something I want to say before we move toward sleep. If you are inside your Saturn return right now, please hear this. You are not failing. You are being formed. The two look identical from the inside. They are not the same thing. Saturn does not destroy what was meant to live. Saturn only releases the pressure on what was already cracked. The relationship that ended this year, the job you walked away from, the city you left, the version of yourself you no longer recognize, none of these were taken from you. They were taken off of you. Two different prepositions. The same act seen from two completely different vantages. The exhaustion you feel is not weakness. It is the body adjusting to carrying something heavier and more honest. The new spine takes calories to grow. The loneliness you may feel is not punishment. It is the negative space that always appears when an old life finishes and the new one has not yet filled the room. The space is necessary. The room must be empty before it can be furnished with anything that fits. The doubt you carry, the small voice that asks whether you are doing this right, is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of integrity. People who do not doubt are not building anything real. People who never question are never tested. The doubt is the proof that the work is real. The friends who do not understand are not bad friends. They simply have not been to the forge yet. Their Saturn return has not arrived, or has not asked them what yours is asking you. Be patient with them. They will catch up. And those who have been to the forge already, those slightly older people in your life who carry the slow, steady weight, will recognize what is happening to you without you needing to explain it. Let them be your witnesses. Let them be the soft circle around your hard work. You are not behind. You are exactly on time. The Saturn return arrives when you are ready for it, not when you feel ready. Saturn does not ask for your feelings on the matter. Saturn asks for your patience, your honesty, and your willingness to keep showing up to the forge. That is all that is required. Showing up. The hammer does the rest. Let me tell you what Saturn return in Aries gives you in the end. Not the cost. The cost is well known. The gift is less often named. The first gift is the gift of your own no. By the time the return is finished, you will be able to say no cleanly, without explanation, without apology, without guilt. Your no will not be loud. It will not be defensive. It will simply be true. People will hear it and adjust. The ones who do not adjust will leave. Both outcomes are correct. The second gift is the gift of your own pace. For most of your life before the return, you ran on someone else's clock. The clock of school, the clock of your peers, the clock of the algorithm, the clock of whatever ambition the culture had handed you. Saturn return takes that clock away. You will leave the return with your own internal clock, calibrated to your actual life. You will know how many hours of sleep you need, what time you do your best work, when to push and when to rest. The borrowed clocks will fall away. You will not miss them. The third gift is the gift of meaningful repetition. Before the return, repetition felt like a trap. Doing the same thing every day felt like death. After the return, repetition is a kind of prayer. You will find a few practices that nourish you, and you will return to them, and the returning will be the point. The new self is built out of small daily things, repeated faithfully. You will discover that there is more freedom inside a steady practice than there ever was inside endless novelty. The fourth gift is the gift of the long view. Before the return, time felt urgent. Every decision felt like it had to be optimized. Every wrong turn felt catastrophic. After the return, you will see your life as a 30-year arc and a 60-year arc and a 90-year arc. The decisions get less heavy when you can see how much road is still ahead. Saturn gives you back time by teaching you that you have more of it than you thought. The fifth gift is the gift of being trustworthy to yourself. By the time the return is finished, you will know that when you say you are going to do something, you will do it. Not because you are forcing yourself. Because the small, steady person you have become is incapable of doing otherwise. This is the deepest form of self-respect. It is not built by self-help books. It is built by Saturn, slowly, over 30 months, one strike at a time. The sixth gift is the gift of being recognizable. Before the return, you might have shape-shifted to fit different rooms. Saturn does not allow this anymore. You will leave the return with one face, one voice, one set of values that travels with you wherever you go. People who meet you in any context will meet the same person. This is rare. It is also why people will start trusting you in ways they never did before. You are easier to trust now because you are harder to surprise. The seventh and final gift, the deepest one, is the gift of an inner home. The Aries fire used to need external stimulation to feel alive. New plans, new places, new conversations, new everything. After the return, the fire has somewhere to live inside you. A small, quiet, steady inner room where you can return at the end of any day, in any city, in any year, and feel exactly like yourself. You will not always remember to visit it, but you will know it is there. And on the hardest days, you will find your way back to it. These are the gifts, not the surface ones the world celebrates, the real ones. So tonight, as you let this episode carry you towards sleep, leave the iron on the anvil. The blacksmith will not work on it tonight. The blacksmith rests too. Saturn is patient, but Saturn is not cruel. There is a stopping place. Tonight is the stopping place. Breathe in slowly through the nose, and out slower still through soft lips. Breathe in, and out. You are safe. You are held. You are exactly on time. If your Saturn return is ahead of you, you are being prepared. The version of you that walks into it will be ready. The fire is being gathered now, quietly, so it has somewhere to go when the work begins. Trust the gathering. If you are inside it now, you are being shaped. The shaping is not punishment. It is craftsmanship. The blacksmith does not waste hammer strikes. Every strike is for something. Trust the hands you cannot see. Trust the heat that does not consume you, only softens you. Trust the pace that feels too slow, because Saturn's pace is the only pace that produces something real. If your Saturn return is behind you, you are already wiser than you know. Look at your life now and see what was forged. The spine, the boundaries, the slow, steady patience. The way you can hold your ground in storms that used to topple you. The way silence does not scare you anymore. The way you no longer chase what does not chase you back. That was Saturn's gift. You earned it the hard way, which is the only way. There is nothing you need to figure out before you fall asleep. The forge is closed for the night. The fire has been banked. The iron is resting. So can you. Let me name a few quiet truths for you before we go. You don't have to remember them. Let them just pass through you like air. You are allowed to be tired. Tired is not weak. You are allowed to start over. Saturn will not punish you for starting over. Saturn punishes only the avoidance of beginning. You are allowed to choose smaller goals, smaller circles, smaller daily ambitions, repeated for a longer time. Smaller is not a failure. Smaller is a strategy. Saturn approves of small things, kept faithfully. You are allowed to be afraid. Fear is not the absence of courage. Fear is the soil that courage grows in. The Aries fire and the fear of failure are not enemies. They are the same energy seen at different temperatures. You are allowed to be alone for a season. Not forever. Not as a punishment. Just for the quiet stretch where the new self is taking shape and does not yet have language for itself. The aloneness is part of the work. Honor it. You are allowed to be slow. Tomorrow the morning light will come back. It always does. The kettle will come back. The small, ordinary kindness of waking will come back. And the work, when you return to it, will be one strike further along than it was today. That is enough. One strike further is always enough. Let the breath get smaller. Let the room get further away. Let this voice fade into the soft hum behind it. Notice the weight of your body in the bed, the temperature of the sheets, the soft sound of your own breathing, the dark, steady night holding the whole house, the dark, steady sky holding the whole house, the whole street, the whole city. You are safe. You are held. You are loved by something older than your ambition. The fire in you is good. The hammer on you is good. The slow becoming is good. None of this is happening to you. All of it is happening for you. Rest now. Let the breath get smaller still. Let your face soften. Let your eyelids feel heavy. Let the small muscles around your jaw release. Let the small muscles around your hands release. Let the small muscles in your feet release. Let your spine, the new strong spine you are growing, soften into the bed and rest. You are the iron. You are also the patience. You are also the fire. You are everything the forge is making, and you are also already whole exactly as you are before any work has been done. Both things can be true. They are. May your sleep be deep. May your dreams be kind. May the morning find you stronger. Good night, friend. Good night.